Why is trust a leadership skill that should be taught?
That's a hard question. You can't teach people to trust. This is, I think, one of the reasons these subjects are dismissed as fluffy or unnecessary, is because they are inherently feelings. Trust is a feeling. That's what it is. Feelings. But that's what it is. Trust is a feeling, as is loyalty. These are feelings that we have towards people or organizations. And so, like all feelings, it's positive feelings. They have to be earned, and they evolve, and they take a series of actions to prove that you are worthy of trust. And so, no matter how excited you are to start a new job, no matter how excited they are to have you, you don't feel a part of the company immediately. It just doesn't happen. You don't know the language, you don't know the customs, you don't know the traditions. You don't fit in quite yet. They don't really know who you are. And over the course of time, little by little, you'll do little things. You'll put yourself out for others. Little by little, they'll give you a little more and a little more. And over the course of 6, 7, 8, 9 months, you'll actually start to feel like, I belong here. I feel like it, If you go years without feeling like you belong, you probably don't. Yeah, no, trust is not something that can be dictated. Trust me, or trust each other. Cooperate. Why don't you guys, if you guys cooperate, we'll have some more. It's not how it works. It's environmental.
Yeah.
It's always environmental.
And for organizations that lack that environmental trust, how do you help organizations turn that around?
It comes from the commitment to leadership. Leaders determine the environment. Leaders determine how big and how porous the circle of safety is. You take a look at a company like Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, back in the 70s and 80s, they were the Boy Scouts of Wall Street. That's what they were referred to as. They believed in something called long-term greed, which is it's okay to make money, but they had this long perspective. And they were renowned for doing the right thing and sometimes taking short-term losses because it was the right thing to do. That was their culture, And through a series of poor management decisions and then going public, exaggerated some of those things, they no longer put as much weight on evaluating someone's cultural fit when making the hire. Now you had the sort of trader mentality started to, take hold inside the culture. And what you started to see was the disintegration of a high values culture, where it was no longer about protecting the reputation and protecting each other. It was now about protecting myself and advancing myself. And we've seen what's happened. They played a role in what we've seen happen to the economy, because without a circle of safety, what happens is we inherently concern ourselves with our own survival. Mm-hmm. Biologically, we become cynical, mm-hmm. we become selfish, and we become paranoid. That's what happens when we don't feel trust. When you don't trust somebody who that you live with, when you don't trust somebody in a relationship, you become paranoid that everything they're doing is trying to hurt you. Right. We become cynical of everything they say. We become self-interested. We start doing things to protect ourselves and building walls. Well, it's the exact same thing inside organizations. When we do not feel safe, we will do things to protect ourselves, which will ultimately damage and hurt the culture and the company.